This podcast contains some magical adult language. Listener discretion is advised. And sorry, Mom.
I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to...
Whoa. You are not Mickey Mouse, you're a rat.
Rat smack! Besides, they're tourists. What do they know?
Welcome to Rat Castle, a progressive chat about theme park magic without the pixie dust. Hello, it is I, your leader, your rat, fellow rat, Nathan Hartman. And with me tonight are two of my fellow favorite rats. It is Victoria. Hello, Victoria.
Hello.
And then, of course, still subbing in for Janine as she is on maternity leave. It is her big brother or little brother? Big brother, right?
Big brother, but it feels like little brother.
Big brother, little brother, medium brother, Briii. Hi, Briii. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. Thanks.
Good. You know, last time we were talking, we were on labor watch, and everything has went well.
Yeah.
So everyone can
Everyone
can stop smoking cigarettes in the waiting room. It's all good. They look like they're doing great. They're back home.
Is this the first rat baby birthed into the rat castle?
It is truly the first rat baby.
First rat baby.
Oh my gosh, the rat prince.
Mm-hmm. All hail the rat prince.
All hail the rat prince.
Yeah. But yeah, so we welcome our rat prince, and we're hopefully all the best to Janine if she's listening. For the rest of the people that are gone, let's see here. Dave is still working. He's finishing up his big secret project, so he's not with us this week. And then Sarah, guys, Sarah is so dumb. Let me tell you. Sarah is so dumb that she heard it was Thanksgiving, so she went to Turkey. That's actually true. She did go to Turkey.
Yeah, she
did go to Turkey. So she's in Turkey. Apparently she didn't want to join us at, I think it was 5:30, 6 a.m. So whatever. Sounds fun. Enjoy yourself. I'm just teasing you, Sarah. All is well. Anyway, let's get to the news. All right, we have several items this week of news, but I want to start out with an update for something that we were talking about previously. So last time we were together, we discussed how over at Animal Kingdom, they had this beautiful concept art for their Santa meet and greet. Y'all buckle in. If you're listening to this via podcast, God bless you. It's going to be fine. I promise I'll do my best to describe things. It's a very picture-heavy week. There's lots of things that have happened. But anyway, we are starting over, as I said, at Animal Kingdom, and the Santa meet and greet concept art was this beautiful thing, and they had this big rug for the Dino Institute, and what we said was, well, here, I'll show you the photo of what was sort of pre-Santa coming out, and we said, oh, well, there's no rug. Everything else looks exactly right, but, I mean, they're not going to invest in the rug because this entire place is going away in the span of, I mean, it's starting now, basically, and we thought, nah, this is it. And, we get it. It's a custom rug. They're not going to do it. And lo and behold, we got the rug. The rug exists.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Wow. It's so vibrant.
It's so vibrant. And it's literally going to be walked on by a Santa and some children for the span of 2 months.
And then the next thing, we'll just see it, in the Walt Disney Archives.
It'll probably be on the floor somewhere. Or, hit me up, cast members. I know a couple rooms in my house that would look pretty good with a Dino Institute rug. That's a big rug too. That's
Nathan,
huge.
if you were to acquire that rug, surely you would give it to me, right?
Surely.
For a price.
Okay.
But
all right.
surely.
I can work with that.
Yeah. Lord knows, I mean, you live in the Los Angeles area, correct?
That is correct.
And your house is about the size of that rug, is my guess.
It is roughly, well, the bedroom is the size of the rug, and then we've got the kitchen and the living room.
Okay, yeah. That's LA for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have to curb the edges. It'd be sort of like a kind of like a.
Well, we'll just take out the bed, and I'll just sleep on that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so
curl
it's
up
fine.
on the.
Yeah.
curl up by the fire, and the fire being the
Los Angeles
outside
itself.
your window.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that'd be good. That'd be good. So there you go. You know what? I'm gonna give props to Disney on this one. They followed through for a thing truly, I'm not even sure if I would have paid for, knowing what I know and stuff, but they did. So God bless them. I can't say no to that. We're moving on, though. We're moving on over to the Magic Kingdom, and yeehaw, everybody. Frontierland's Shooting Gallery has finally got some concept art for its new of course, it's been closed and hollowed out, and they're going to put in, as we know, a DVC club. And we have that DVC Frontier Club concept art, and it is called, let me bring up my notes again. This is going to be called the I am blanking. It's named after Sam McKim, who was a artist for Disney and joined the company in 1954. It's going to be called Disney Vacation Club's McKim's Mile House, a member lodge. I think maybe the mile portion comes from the fact that around that area they used to have the mile-long bar as well, if people remember that.
Nope.
Nope. Or maybe that was Disneyland, and I'm totally mixing up my Country Bear exits. But there was a point where there was a bar that had mirrors on both sides, so it looked a mile long. But yeah. So what do you guys think of this? As I should, for my audio listeners, it's basically, it looks like a nice high ceilinged cabin with a sort of staircase to a second floor. My guess is that is either for staff. I know it's for staff purposes because there's a gate on it, or it literally won't go anywhere. Kind of like Skipper Canteen. What do you guys think? What do you? What's your thoughts?
Well, the first thing I noticed was a hidden Mickey. So
oh yes, the frames on the wall.
Yeah. So I mean, it looks very cozy. My only question is, isn't this the lodge that is going to be adjacent to that new membership thing that the DVC members have the option to pay for? Like, isn't this part of it?
No, this would be the one going in at the Shooting Gallery. So this is like free, like the Epcot Lodge, the membership.
I might be confusing it with something then.
Yeah, they're just calling it a lodge, and they shouldn't. It's just a room for the purposes of.
It looks cozy.
I was going to say it definitely looks cozy, but I'm also unsettled by the little, like, train robber children that I just noticed.
Right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that.
Like, I've never seen that sort of getup at a Disney park before, and it is just, they just look dastardly and sinister, and I'm truly unsettled by their presence in this concept art.
Well, if I'm looking at it as close as I can, and I should let me see if I can get even.
Is that a robber?
Yes.
Yeah, he's literally giving robber baron.
Yes. The child next to him though is holding a Big Owl plush, so I'm very happy about that.
The child next to him is also complicit in this. You'll note that,
of course,
the bandana has slipped down below his mouth, but he's definitely still part of the gang.
Look, I am not going to say anything about these two children because they're there with their lesbian moms, and I stand. So it's fine, as you can see. So, but no, that kid's got a Big Owl doll. This is probably the closest we'll ever get to actual Country Bear merchandise in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Which I still
this place
can't
is
believe
be...
it's not a thing. Like, it's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
Why? Why is it not a thing?
Lord knows. But I do know that the... it's going to be a lot more crowded than this looks at all times. I mean, you have to check in, and they'll tell you if there's room. I mean, they do that at Epcot, but Epcot's got a larger space. So my guess maybe it won't be crowded, but it's just going to be hard to get into. But I don't know. I'm always sort of like,
are you both
cool.
Disney Vacation Club members?
No.
Victoria?
No.
Okay, so none of us here are ever going to see this space. I assume.
Well, you can generally. The only reason I've ever gotten in is I had a couple friends that had like a share. Oh. And they basically bought it for cheap so they could just get into the DVC lounges at Epcot. Yeah. Which is it's kind of a game. It's a way to think about it. they're nice.
Forgive me for being totally ignorant on this,
No,
but are
please.
there perks to entering this space aside from just being in a slightly less congested environment?
Well, AC is always a perk in the Florida heat. But they have, and this is what they have over at Epcot too, which is in the Imagination Pavilion, complimentary soft drinks. My guess is freestyle machines is my guess. I have a feeling that those cabinets, you can kind of see my cursor. I didn't realize you could do that. But the cabinets over here, I bet you those are freestyle machines.
Okay.
I thought those were
I
thought those were the doors to get in.
I mean, they don't really look like, they're kind of stocky for doors. But
Yeah,
maybe-
no, you're right. Those are cabinets. I just at first glance I thought.
But they
were
also
doors.
look too stocky to be freestyle machines, I would say.
Oh, interesting.
Because they're definitely
Oh,
taller
wait.
than me.
But if you look at the little girl and her father, like those look like cups that they're holding.
Those
next
do
to
look
it.
like cups. That's my point. That's water right there for sure. On the side there, I'm game to see what they do with this for the sheer fact of Easter eggs. You will get comfortable seating, complimentary soft drinks, a children's entertainment area. FYI, that means exactly probably what it means at the Epcot one, which is there's one television playing Mickey Mouse shorts.
Or coloring.
Or maybe if you're
Ooh,
lucky,
they have
God, I
coloring.
take some.
Wow.
I take some
I
coloring.
do enjoy coloring.
Wi-Fi and then charging cords available upon request on a first-come, first-served basis. You have to have a valid membership ID and photo ID to check in. A member can bring up to 4 guests per membership card or the number of guests on their resort reservation booked within that membership, which is how I got into the Epcot one. No automatic re-entry allowed. Members and their guests will leave the space, must follow the same entry policy. Like again, they're gonna have to keep this kind of stuff. Oh, and we know it's Coke Freestyle because personal cups may not be used with the Coke Freestyle machine. And generally they come around. They don't say snacks on here, and they might not, but they usually go around and give you some snacks over at the Epcot one. But everything's getting chiseled away, so who knows? So there you go. That's the concept art. I mean, it's fine. I hate that we're just constantly getting these like, hey, this is the most congested park possibly in the entire world. How about we chisel out just a little bit more for people that exclusively can get into this space, So I'm always a little bit wary of that kind of stuff, but it will be popular soon because, of course, in Frontierland, they will be draining it and putting the Cars e-ticket in next door.
Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. And as we have some rumors, and those rumors kind of connect with some new footage that they shared at the D23 Brazil Expo, which is so. I'm fascinated by D23 Brazil. That's how much Brazil
I'm not
comes.
fascinated, more so confused by it because based on what I saw, and I know this isn't what we're about to talk about, but like it literally just seemed like they regurgitated everything at D23.
Yes.
Like,
But
am
in
I wrong?
but in Espanol.
No, in Portuguese.
Portuguese, you are
Portuguese.
correct. How ignorant of me. Canceled forever and ever. Amen. But they did show a couple little extra things, and they showed some footage. And in the video, they do showcase some Imagineers riding an all-terrain style vehicle on dirt course that seems to have no visible track. There have been certain companies that have experimented with ATVs that utilize GPS and guidance systems that they won't pass barriers and things like that. So we'll see.
Yes, Victoria. Yes, exactly my feeling.
Are you concerned about a Lightning McQueen jumping track and running over some small children?
No,
Or
I'm
what's
I'm
hesitation?
anticipating just like it being down all the time forever, like everything
That's not
else.
even
the track
my
is.
concern.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm ahead of you. I'm
Yeah.
concerned about budget slashes because that automatically sounds like shit is getting slashed expeditiously.
In the sense of they won't go this far with it, or it's going to be expensive, so they'll have
Yes.
the slash out.
I don't think it's going to go this far. I could easily be wrong.
It's a rumor. We're basing it on a video, and
We are basing
Lord
it on a
knows
video.
they love to showcase footage of R&D and stuff they don't actually end up using.
What's interesting to me about that video, and I may be incorrect, but I do believe that those aren't even like GPS aligned vehicles. They're just regular old like ATVs.
Just ATVs. Yeah.
So it was a very weird choice. I believe. Like, look at us going around these piles of hay, and we're going up a slight mound here. You know, like what?
I didn't get the.
Why?
I didn't get the point of it.
Yeah,
like,
I don't get it.
Because I know they stated like everything they announced at D23 is going to be groundbreaking in 2025. So I guess they're trying to like give that like little snippet so that way people aren't like, well, you said this X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, but you're showing this to people who don't really have any concept of Imagineering or engineering or what even this is. They think they do, but they don't. So I'm like, what are you showing us exactly?
Yeah, what they're showing us is something to help with the quarter earning call, and
yes,
that's it. That's literally it. And then at some point, we'll see what ends up happening with this. We've went over this ad nauseum at this point about the lakes going away, and I have no issue with this. I'm not precious about the Magic Kingdom.
Same.
You know,
couldn't care less.
Just don't touch Haunted Mansion. I'm fine.
I think capacity is a great thing. Just like like
they really need more
I
stuff.
Can't tolerate being in that park because it's just packed to the rafters, and opening that space up and getting a bunch of kids on these vehicles. That ride better have very high capacity. That is the one thing.
It has to.
It has to. For the love of God.
Well, and Lord knows this probably isn't the. I don't know if we know if this is the only. I think they're doing a little something else too, aren't they?
No, they're doing two.
Yeah, and then we don't have too much information about Villain's Land, but my guess is there's two there as well. All I care about is that I can go from Big Thunder all the way to Haunted Mansion clockwise. That would be amazing.
Fantastic.
That would be
if we could finish that circle.
That alone is just going to alleviate
save so much congestion.
So many problems. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, my understanding is Villains is going to have 2 e-tickets, and Cars has 1 D or E ticket, and then a flat ride, is my understanding.
That's my understanding as well.
Yeah.
We also know, going into Villains Land territory, we now know, of course, more about the backstory. Josh D'Amaro revealed some backstory details at D23 Brazil. And he said, their evil ambitions give us endless possibilities to tell new stories. A sentence only a corporate executive could say. This new land will be home to the villains you know and loathe. Oh, very funny. D'Amaro went on to say, a spell has summoned the villains to the land, and the heroes don't come save the day. Sorry, I'm reading this again. And the heroes don't come save the day. There may not be a happily ever after. D'Amaro didn't elaborate on who summoned the villains or why. It's kind of my problem with the land in general. It's like, so there's just a land where evil reigns. It's just okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Trump appointed all of those characters to this land.
Not Yzma for the Board of Education.
Okay.
She already run? I think she did it last term too.
I believe she did. Yeah. Speaking of Yzma though, because Yzma's my favorite Disney character, and I like this is like autism brain / like really unhealthy relationship with like consumerism, but like I will.
You're an American.
Yes, will go out of my way to buy any piece of Yzma merchandise in the hopes of her getting some type of representation in the parks. So the fact that she was announced as one, and it's a pretty odd group of villains, if I'm being honest, but the fact that she made it in there makes all of these nonsense pin purchases and t-shirts and socks and everything else I've purchased that just like rot in a closet somewhere.
Yeah.
Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah. You're
I feel
what do they call
vindicated.
You feel validated.
Yeah.
Was it when you set up like an area for somebody?
Like an altar?
Altar.
Kinda, yeah.
Altar.
Yeah.
You're Afarinda for Yzma.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you bring up the assortment of villains, you make a good point, because like someone immediately clocked that the artwork they showed was just Lorcana artwork from the Cars, and I was like, yeah, that's a good point. But then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, so you have a Tiana ride down the street, but you didn't think to put Facilier in this lineup?
Well, that goes back down to no black magic. They have put a
/
strict...
religious sensitivity is the other side of that. Yeah.
First of all, I'm calling bullshit on that.
And you should. You should.
If that's the case, why the fuck do we do candlelight processional every year? Don't nobody say shit about it.
It's not a villain utilizing
the candlelight processional. It's not like
Jesus
Chris
Christ.
Pratt.
That's
like...
Oh please. We all know what they did to Jesus. Please.
Well, that's a valid point. That's the Easter processional. We don't do that anymore. Yeah. Walt was, he happily portrayed Jesus, and anyway, fine, whatever. I just could bring me capacity. I don't care at this point. The Yzma thing, if I have to hear one more person tell me there's going to be a
the
roller
Yzma coaster.
I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more.
That for you is when everyone was doing Tiana's and they were like, Facilier should be having his song at the drop. I'm like,
yes.
Well, he should be. That's
Shut
still
up.
a good idea.
It's a good idea, but it had nothing to do with the story. I'm like, let it go.
Well, we didn't know the story then.
Yeah. I think that Yzma, honestly, I think Yzma's presence here is suggestive of some type of link to that. So. I mean, it seems like a idiotic thing to just bypass that whole plot point. But I am baffled by some of the other choices, like Lady Tremaine, like a bitchy stepmom.
Just,
I mean, they have her there.
Yeah,
they have her there anyway.
She's just gonna meet and greet. She's just gonna meet and greet.
It's literally just some place to have the stepsisters because they just wander around the castle. That in a way makes sense to me.
That makes more sense to me than this. Like, I guess my problem is I'm envisioning this as like a 1-to-1 response to Universal Monsters at
I was just about to ask this because this is what it sounds like.
It's what it feels like,
It's what it feels
so, like in my mind, we're gonna go in a Kuka arm, and Yzma's gonna be there, and Lady Tremaine is gonna point her finger at us, and that's going to be the experience, but perhaps that's not necessarily what's going to happen here. I don't know.
No, I mean, we definitely think we're going to get a Maleficent coaster. I'm sure of that from the concept art.
I'm intrigued
if
by
the concept
the
art means
Chernabog
anything.
thing. The Chernabog thing. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Here's what I will say. If they do have an Yzma coaster, that means 2 Patrick Warburton pre-shows, and I have no issue with that.
Yeah, no.
Just a little like, hey, nice work there, pal. Like, I'll take it. Whatever they want to do. If they could just have him do Soren again, but animated as Kronk, just don't even have him redo it. Just have the audio from Soren, and don't explain it. Just go into the Yzma coaster, and he's just like, "Hey, welcome to Soren."
Spinach pups.
I'm for it. Spinach pups. Squeaker, squeak, squeakers. Look at that sky. Talk about blue. So we're going to move on to Hollywood Studios and talk about I guess I'm an Ariana Grande fan. Didn't know that.
Welcome to the club.
Didn't know that. Again, I'm a fairly straight male. We don't come across each other very often, me and Ariana, and she was on a podcast I actually quite enjoy, Las Culturistas, with Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers, and Bowen is pretty. First of all, I'm a very big Bowen Yang fan because Bowen is a kind of a big Disney nerd and kind of a big movie nerd. He's been on Blank Check and a bunch of other these.
He's also wildly talented and brilliant.
Wildly talented.
Oh my god!
Yes, wildly talented and very, very funny. And they were talking about their love of Ariana and all 3 of them were talking about their love of Figment and Disney, and then. Like, apparently Mariah Carey had said the same thing recently about Tower of Terror. And then Ariana Grande talked about how she had wrote a letter but never sent it, like a Change.org petition she'd never sent out, which was basically about her saying that Disney should never touch the Hollywood Studios Tower of Terror and not make it Guardians. And she, went on this really beautiful sort of, she said it would be yes, I'm referring to the calamitous loss / makeover, the Tower of Terror ride. And then she, I think it was implores or pleads begs dire desperation. She's dire desperation that they never change it. And she never sent the change.org petition. But I guess that's how hardcore Ariana Grande is about her Disney fandom. So,
just to clarify, so she wrote this for the California one or for the Florida one?
She, after the California one happened, she wrote a change.org to make sure that, in hopes that the Hollywood Studios one would get changed.
But they said they would never change it, so I'm confused.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah,
nothing.
And well, this is before the Guardians.
Yeah, it's the only original left, so why would they change it?
Paris still has, Paris is still running the original as well.
But
I mean, the reason why they would change it is if there's some issue with the rights being Twilight Zone. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could think of because I was like,
well, that's a reason Scarlett Johansson's making a movie right now.
I thought that was canceled.
About Tower of Terror. It's back on after the suit was taken care of. So another attraction movie for us to see and then instantly forget. That seems to be what we do. But anyway, no, from what it seems, she was going to write this after that, before Guardians had a ride at Epcot, and then she never released it, and then she brought it up on the podcast and read it. You know what? I guess, hey, gang, go see Wicked. I don't know, like, support her, I guess.
I'll be going next week.
I'm going tomorrow.
I'm going at some point as well. Her and Rachel Ziegler are both, like, massive Disney park nerds, and hey, Rachel, Ariana, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. I'll happily ditch anybody else on the podcast. Heck, if Ariana Grande wants to just be a rat, I'll let her take over the whole show. I think that's the best way for us to start getting paid.
She could support that imaginary Patreon we had going for a while.
I tell you what, yeah, that would add up very quickly. So we're going to move on to a thing that Disney cares about more than anything else in the entire universe, and that is cruise lines. Ooh. So we are going to hand it over to Captain Briii to tell us about the christening of the Treasure. And I have some photos as well to go with it that I'll bring up once you start talking about it, Brian.
Our audience will not see?
Our video audience will see.
Our video audience will see. Okay, cool. So Disney Treasure is one of the 400 new cruise ships that Disney has commissioned in the past 20 minutes. And this one evidently had a christening event, replete with a fantabulous drone show in the New York Harbor this past
a couple
Tuesday.
Photos of that.
It was beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Christening bottle of in drone shape. I don't think they smashed this actually against the boat. But you know,
shame.
Symbolic.
Very symbolic.
But did you guys see the other ones, like especially the Haunted Mansion?
The Madame Leota one was incredible.
Oh, well, let's talk. We'll go through it.
Oh my
gosh. We've got the Hitchhiking Ghosts.
Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge, of course, that Jordan Sparks performed Treasure's theme song, "Live the Adventure." I don't know who she is, and I don't know what that song is.
She shows up,
but she's there.
She just shows up.
Yeah.
The Madame Leota for sure is crazy.
Literally was insane.
Yeah, pretty rad.
Yeah.
And then from there we got Coco, we've got Dante, we've got a guitar, we've got little skulls and a marigold bridge, and then Moana.
Of course.
Got some boats, sails, iconography.
Yeah. I exclusively got the Haunted Mansion once. I was like, the rest of it is like
it's just kind of whatever
for the most part.
Yeah. But that was very exciting for those that love drones and boats. Which it
was a shame. It was a show short. Like I thought it was going to be
a show short.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? It was. Like,
so short. I thought you said
short.
A show short.
I'm sorry, but yeah. I'm also not familiar with cruise boats, but are christenings usually this short?
Usually you chuck a bottle against it.
Yeah, don't they just throw a bottle on a string at a boat and call it a day?
I have no idea.
Yeah, generally speaking. Most don't come with drones.
Yeah.
Okay,
Boats and Drones is my favorite song from Step Brothers, by the way.
Cool. I'll mind the business that pays me.
Take us inside, Brian. What do we got inside the boat?
Once we get inside, we have a spectacular grand hall. This Grand Hall is actually pretty cute, I have to say. Takes heavy influence from the iconography and aesthetic of Agrabah in the animated Aladdin film. We've got some like a chandelier, central chandelier that kind of has like a Moroccan lamp sort of style to it. We've got the lamp with what appears to be fiber optics integrated. Janine, you would love to see it with fiber optics going up the stairwell leading upwards with Jasmine and our friend Aladdin on a magic carpet. It's really beautiful, actually. I think it's really cute as far as these grand halls go. Normally I'm just like, okay, it's another anonymous, very Titanic adjacent white people cruise aesthetic, but this one is a little different. And also, the carpet too. We've got sort of like a kind of Persian kind of style on the rug down there with like really flowers. lush different colors that you would anticipate seeing on a cruise, like teals and aquamarines and corals and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's such a big room that they are utilizing color palettes that generally used to make rooms feel smaller or do make rooms feel smaller.
Yeah.
And this doesn't at all because it's a very, very, I mean, it's not called a grand hall for no reason.
Well, fun fact, this whole ship is basically just a Disney Wish, like as far as layout.
Yeah.
Just different colors.
Different colors and different theming on their food and beverage locations. Speaking of, we've got a couple pretty exciting food and beverage opportunities in here. I have been pretty underwhelmed with most of the ones I've seen. They're usually like some type of like Marvel thing that comes to mind anyway, and I'm just like not interested. This is actually pretty spectacular in that this cruise ship has a haunted mansion lounge, essentially a Jungle Cruise lounge, and a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea lounge. And all three of those, I mean, for park lovers, like, and the overlap with the cruise people, I'm a park lover. I'm not a cruise person. This is pretty awesome to me.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you
This is the first time I'm seeing this. Like,
yeah, this is the
Skipper Society Lounge.
Wow,
Yes.
it really fits the aesthetic very well.
Kind of. I want to make a point though about the theming of the bars, which I think is very interesting. You just brought this up, Briii. I'm not shocked that they're leaning in on Parks IP, because I think they've recognized the people that will pay to get a lightning lane will also pay to go on a cruise.
Yep.
And
To be fair,
that's easier. Yeah,
fair.
Kids aren't.
The only reason I booked this cruise was literally the Haunted Mansion bar. I'm not even joking.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
I literally saw a Haunted Mansion bar, and I was like, how much?
The level of interest I express for a fucking cruise is unreal.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How did they do this? Oh, they put park iconography in there.
Oh, wow.
I will say this is the least
Me too.
exciting.
I agree.
It looks almost like a Holiday Inn. Like,
it's just a little too bright. The
Yeah.
lighting doesn't. I think.
Isn't it the point to kind of look corny?
it's not.
No, I don't mind corny.
It doesn't even look corny. It just looks kind of
that's the
sterile and like corporate hotels, like goofy kids lounge.
The
or
TV
something.
doesn't help.
Yeah.
The TV does not help.
I kind of see it. Yeah.
I love the awning here with the animal figures and stuff, or not awning, entrance.
Archway.
Archway. Ooh, even better. I do enjoy some of the aspects of like the seating area. I like the lamps with the parrots. That's a nice sort of like double nod to Tiki Room. And then there's 2 oars on the wall, one for Disneyland and one for Magic Kingdom, which I think is pretty great.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, 55 and 71.
Yeah.
So, and then I think we know that one of the travelers that is now on the Jungle Cruise is a painter, and I think that might be what the La Rosa paint set comes from.
Yeah, in Disneyland, there's a whole painting subplot in there.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you, Brian. I think the problem here is the lighting is too bright, and this might just be a photography issue, but I think it's too bright, and then it's... I don't want Trader Sam's because I already have... First of all, it's very weird to me they didn't just do a Trader Sam's on a boat. Like,
well, I
I
think
feel like that would have
that's
just made sense.
yeah. There's Trader. I can only say Trader Joe's. Trader Sam's. There's strong Trader Sam's elements in both the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is like almost Trader Sam's, and then the Haunted Mansion, which is also pretty similar. So I just can see why.
I mean, Sam's is theoretically a Jungle Cruise.
I mean, but Tiki Room
Absolutely.
was also
So this is
right.
absolutely.
Tiki Room was right there too. Like,
it just feels a little. Just a little. Everything's a little too arranged too nicely.
It's just
for
sterile.
some reason.
It looks sterile. Like it just.
So question, because there's also that Skipper restaurant, correct? I have not had the opportunity to go there yet, but how does that look compared to this? Would you say that restaurant there would be more accurate?
What I would say is it looks closer in theory. Skipper Canteen looks a little closer to this, but this has a sort of a modern edge that Skipper Canteen doesn't do. Skipper Canteen very much kind of is trying to look like a mess hall.
Yeah.
And then it has these really elegant, like the sea room is very elegant. And they're a different vibe, and they all feel a little older. These feel fairly modern.
Yeah, it just looks like a corporate hotel's like goofy event space,
like just a jungle corporate hotel, like a Hyatt's jungle bar.
Yeah, all it's missing is just pizza.
You bet.
Most things,
But there's too much lighting. If you look at this first picture here, look at all that lighting.
Look at the lighting. Look at the lighting fixtures. Look at this. I mean, it's just so sterile and bland. I mean, there's not a lot here, really.
No.
I like the chairs.
And I like the chairs. They're not going to make jokes. They're not going to like lean in, I don't think, enough. I think this is going to be the chill bar, which is a weird thing to do for Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, that's what
it's going to be the quiet bar.
I agree.
But Haunted Mansion. Let's go to Haunted Mansion.
Okay, now the biggin.
This is what I paid for.
Yeah, and you and countless others, I'm sure. Like, I mean, when this was announced, people were losing their minds over this, and rightly so. I remember, in particular, people freaking out over the chair that is featured in the ride that vanished.
Duck chair.
Yes, and then materialized in the artwork for this. And of course, it is present here. This space is gorgeous. I know many of us Disney fans have been wondering when they're going to do like a Haunted Mansion bar or lounge, which seems like the most obvious thing to do.
Restaurant, full on restaurant.
I mean, any of it.
I think I think for the perspective of what Oga's has taught me is you need to just make a sit down restaurant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I hate yoga.
But do you think Disney has learned that lesson?
No, because it fills up.
Yeah.
I but also you spend a lot more money technically at dinner. Like Skipper Canteen, it seems always busy, and it does a really good. It's a nice sit down restaurant, and it's fun. So it's an equivalency, I would say, to something like this.
Yeah. This I think is really lovely. The opportunity to incorporate aspects or like conceptual ideas for the original Haunted Mansion that didn't end up making it into the actual attraction were then revived and brought back into this in various ways. That I think is really lovely. They have a bust of Raleigh Crump, who's one of the most influential Imagineers. Yeah, there we go. Like it hugely vital to the entire Haunted Mansion project in terms of developing like the tone and the vibe and the aesthetic. And they have him.
His bust says, by the way, I think I'm trying to remember. It says Brother Roland, always revered for bringing the weird or something like that.
I think that's actually correct.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Candleman aspect of his face melting. And
I love that they did that.
It's so great. It's so great.
They just needed to give him a joint, and then that would be full Raleigh Crump.
I love it.
Honestly, I'm just happy they did the aquarium. Like, that was always my favorite.
The ghost fish.
I love that they brought that back. That was always my favorite thing about
too, dude.
Museum of the Weird. And it was just like, they did it. Like Briii said, I love that they took aspects of what they originally conceptualized and put it into there. And the best part about it is, like, people like me will come because this is an exclusive experience you can only get on this boat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we know, I haven't seen for the 20,000 Leagues, but we know for Haunted Mansion, and we know for the canteen, or not canteen, but the Jungle Cruise Lounge or whatever the hell they're calling it. They have mugs. Like, this is their big selling point merch wise, is the
I
mugs.
was told they do. I don't think they've shared it yet, though.
They have shared them. I just don't have the photos of it. Someone had them out. There's a Hatbox Ghost one for Haunted Mansion. There is. Let me see if I can.
I was.
Oh no, I meant the ones for 20,000, not these.
Oh,
yeah, 20,000. I
yeah.
haven't seen them.
Apparently they exist. They just haven't shown them yet. The only thing I've seen was the costumes that they're gonna wear at D23. That's the only thing they've shared.
The Nautilus would be a no-brainer. Like the.
Well, it already is one.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
It could come back. Let's go to 20,000 Leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my favorite of the. This is my favorite of the three.
This is my favorite as well.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, so the name for this place is the Periscope Pub, which is a pretty cute little name if I say so myself. Oh, crap. I just somehow lost my... Oh, this is so annoying.
Get it together, Brian.
I'm sorry.
I
Okay,
tell you what,
here we
we're
go.
so
Here we go. I got it. All right. So we got the Periscope Pub, which I think maybe Victoria's still pretty in love with the Haunted Mansion, but for
No, this is my second.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's pretty spectacular. It also appears to be the largest of the three.
It really does look pretty big.
It looks huge. And here we've got the sort of classic steampunk adjacent Jules Verne style of the 2000 Leagues Under the Sea film applied to a really, really rad little lounge.
I think it's also giving me Tokyo, like Disney Sea vibes. From
I was just about to ask you, Nathan, because
I've never been. I wouldn't know.
So I was gonna ask because that was my first time riding 20,000 anywhere. So one, was that like original, like from Disney World? Like, was it exact?
No, that is an entirely different ride.
Which I have been on many times.
The original is very much like Finding Nemo.
Yes.
At Disneyland now. It's the exact same ride system.
So then my second question is, which is it closer to that or the one in Tokyo?
The bar or
the
like
bar.
I think the bar is sort of like, the thing is they're all coming from the same, kind of like Mysterious Island at Disney Sea is basing itself on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the movie, and this is basing it off. Like there's enough that it's sort of similar. I would say that I'm getting sort of a nice mix.
Yeah, because I would say
it's not rusticy and like dusty, which is something that is very part of Mysterious Island. The queue and all that is pretty like
it's like very like, I don't know how to describe it.
There's not a lot of queue for 20,000 Leagues, to be honest, but it's mostly, it's a little like the tables will look a little older or something, a little more beaten up. This feels a little more not modern in the sense of like architecture, but just newer.
So, Briii, would you agree with that then?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
I would agree with that. It also, we're calling this 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea pub, but it is the Periscope Pub, and they're not clearly aligning it with that. They are referencing it in some of the little cages of objects to peruse while you're in there, but it does feel like its own thing.
I mean, Briii, if I'm not mistaken, looking at this image here, I think that's a goddamn squid on a digital screen going by.
Wait, where?
At the top,
where did you see that? I didn't see it.
If you look at the ceiling right there, you can see in the sort of, you see that there's a pattern there at the ceiling. I think that ceiling is going to show fish going by.
I thought it was just like a light thing, because it doesn't
He's right. It looks like a digital screen.
You can kind of see in the second image too that there just doesn't seem. I mean, it could just be, but I think it's a digital screen. I think. Well,
look at the windows compared to the ceiling. Maybe.
Victoria, you have a mission come March.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Hopefully we'll
know.
know before then.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible. But you're right. It's not necessarily 100%.
Oh, are those charging ports at the bar?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I also feel that like Atlantis, the animated film, wildly underrated, is also playing a role.
I
in the
see the
aesthetic.
vision.
Briii,
I see the vision.
a movie that every 10 years I rewatch hoping I like it more, and I don't.
What do
And I
you
want to every
mean
time.
you don't like Atlantis:
I
The Lost
just-
Empire?
I can't get it. I just think the pacing's all wrong. It's
the
gorgeous
pacing
to
is
look
weird.
at.
The pacing is weird.
Pacing is bad.
But this is the thing for
it's
me.
So
Remake
it
that.
wanted-
Remake that.
Yes,
Like
yes,
that is what
yes.
they need to fucking do. Like
Honestly,
live
and
action
that's what-
that, please.
But that's what people are asking for. That's what's blowing my mind. Like,
I
people
know.
want an Atlantis, but you gave them Lilo and Stitch. You gave them
Yeah.
or
Moana.
Mufasa.
I don't care how Mufasa became king.
No.
No.
I don't care.
No.
Yeah. And Victoria's saying that. And
Right.
that's her culture.
It is my
So-
culture. That was actually the first movie I ever saw in a theater. Was The Lion King.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So that's
Still
the
don't
hope,
care.
I think, for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney's
But
hoping.
yes, I like it. I dig it.
I love it. I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic.
It's great. It's
It
my
looks
favorite.
beautiful.
Bri, should we go from one epic cruise to an epic universe and
Why
talk
not?
about these?
Why not? Like,
This
my-
queue is killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely fucking bonkers.
Let's go. Let's go. Like,
Okay,
can I just
but
say, I thought this was I legitimately thought this was the concept art at first.
and Victoria, I understand why you feel that way because we clearly have a very heavy Photoshop element taking up at least a quarter of this image.
Yes.
So
For those who are listening, we are talking about the Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry ride at Epic Universe has released their concept art. And we are looking at the concept art for the queue, which is, am I correct by saying it is full size, like to scale?
It does appear to be 1-to-1 to scale, yes.
they did say it was a 1-to-1 scale recreation.
Yep.
But the top, of course, is like it's like in the movie where it's like clouds and stuff, and that's not. They can't.
They
And
can.
I mean,
and
maybe
it makes me feel crazy that they did this. Like it truly makes me feel nuts. Like it just feels. It just puts everything else in question unnecessarily. You know, like that's.
So I know those banners move with umbrage on them.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we've seen that in video already. And if they have LED screens that big, okay, that ceiling might just be real projection mapped.
Which is easy to do, but that's not what that is.
No.
That's not what that is.
It's not. No.
So yeah, I guess I can understand why they're like doing that. Just because they, you know, I don't know. It makes me feel weird about it. But otherwise, like 400 out of 10 in terms of execution. Oh my god, the tiles, the tiles
Yeah.
alone. Like
This is a long way from the fact that if you go on Gringotts you enter, the columns are hollow when you knock on them, and they're like peeling. The
marble, the faux marble.
Yeah.
Like,
it makes me
laminate
so mad.
peeling off. Yeah.
Makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Every time
They've come a long way.
They've come a long way.
But my issue is this, and I don't think it's like entirely warranted, my suspicion here, but I have been burned so many times by Universal where they put like 400 out of 10 effort into Harry Potter properties, and then everything else gets like an 8 out of 10 to Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like
Give me
the
an
difference
example.
here is these are all their properties.
well,
Well-
Harry Potter isn't.
Yeah.
Well, minus
notably.
Harry Potter, but all of them, for the most part, the rest of them are.
So like, and there's something to be said for like even Disney with Pandora. Like when they did Pandora, they didn't really own Pandora and Avatar yet, and James Cameron pushed them to make it that much better than it ended. You know, that it could have been with Disney, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And I think J.K. Rowling, for all of her nightmare turfiness,
There's a picture of J.K. Rowling right here.
Yeah, there she is.
This is why you got to watch the videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Example being, so Jurassic World the ride here at Hollywood,
Yeah.
California.
Familiar.
Yeah.
It is so depressing, the amount of non-effort they put into that. Literally they sponge painted like someone's suburban bathroom, like the stucco facade on the building to make it look different. But it's like it literally, you look at it and it's just like you literally just took a sponge and slapped it on there and called it a day. Like there's
I mean,
I honestly was really surprised at the lack of theming when I rode it. I waited an hour for that ride.
Yes.
It lacks so, like, in the queue,
everything. Actually, I love the queue video. It's one of my favorite Jurassic World things.
The queue video is good.
The queue video is great, but everything else sucks. And so then I look at Shanghai Universal, and it's the same thing all over again, where it's like, we got a parking lot with palm trees in it, and then a ride right there. You know, it's I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Are you saying you don't like the Shanghai one?
I don't.
Are you saying it's better?
I don't. I will say this: the rides and attractions themselves are outside of the environment and immersive world building that they're doing there, which is wildly lacking. And if I am going to talk about rides, they have a ride called Stranded on Flyers or something equivalent to that, and you're literally just flying on top of like industrial rooftops, looking at exhaust pipes. Like, you know, it's bad. It's bad. So I am a little. By all accounts, everything at Epic Universe looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. And it looks like they're finally doing the next level necessary. But I've been burned so many times with Universal that I am awaiting. And also, I'm not that impressed with Super Nintendo World, to be honest with you. I haven't been.
My guy, he's throwing bombs today.
I mean, I will say, I think Donkey Kong Country is going to be great.
Yes.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, that's coming up. That's coming up.
I'm not wowed by Super Nintendo either, is what I'm saying.
No.
I want to, before we move on from this Harry Potter ride, I just want to bring up that the actual ride vehicle looks like a BDSM factory.
Yes.
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like children are going to pick the fuck out of those seats.
Yeah, that's true too. Those dots are not even real dots. Like that's like one core piece, I'm sure.
Yes.
Those are probably solid plastic, to be honest.
Yeah, foam. Yeah.
But no, this looks like this looks like a sex chamber.
It totally does.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I saw a discussion online about these strangely placed little holes and buttons in there. Speaking of BDSM lounge, but
speaking of holes,
but it's speculated.
There's the camera. I see.
Yeah,
the camera.
well, it's speculated that there's going to be aromification within this vehicle.
Yeah,
and
I think there's going to be.
Oh.
Yeah, which would make sense.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Did you say aromification or erotification?
That too.
Okay.
That too.
Yeah. Sexy ride vehicles. Yeah. Don't get stuck being the only two on that one. Hachi machi.
On-ride photos are going to look like boudoir photos. You know?
Hot. Speaking of daddies, let's go over to Donkey Kong.
What?
Donkey Kong.
What?
My man.
What?
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Look at that shoulder
Donkey
span
Kong
there.
is Victoria. Donkey Kong is daddy. This is just obvious.
Look at that masculine red tie.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Look, he's only wearing a tie. He's literally only wearing a tie. He's so sexy.
You need to know which Kong it is. You can't confuse your Kong.
And it conveniently covers the Kong Dong. It just
Kong Dong.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't see the Kong Dong. The key though is, of course, this is from Japan. If you didn't literally notice the head of Nintendo next to him, but this of course is like a duplicate land for Epic. So this meet and greet character, for those who can't see it, is the biggest, burliest. Some people are saying it kind of looks like Sully. Mm-hmm. This is bigger. Oh. These arms are
way
thick.
way bigger.
He's a big boy.
Like, look at that is not a human frame. Like, you cannot have a human that fits in that.
It kind of reminds me of, do you guys remember when they brought the Hulk out a few years ago?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of. Yeah.
I think this is this pretty
very
much
similar, very, very
it's
similar.
Very similar.
Yeah.
He's on, it's for me, it's going to be, my guess is person on Stan like feet risers, and then I think they're looking out of the mouth, maybe the eyes.
They
It's
generally
really hard to
they
tell.
generally look at the mouth, but the
Yeah,
way
that's
the
a
mouth
tiny-
is,
That's a
I was gonna-
tiny little mouth slit right there.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. So it might actually be the eyes.
Who can say?
Which
They'd be
can say?
tall enough. Who could say? But definitely want to get hugged by this guy. Big guy. Looks like tons of fun. They also have, of course, the Jungle Beat shakes, which you can get a DK barrel full of sweet shake, banana shake. I will take it. Thank you very much. I'm a huge Nintendo guy. I love Mario. I play all the Mario games, play all the DK games. But I think my tropical tiki loving aesthetic matches so hardcore with like Donkey Kong stuff that it just this is
it.
great.
So my favorite video game of all time is Donkey Kong Country for the
so good.
Super Nintendo and subsequent platforms as it evolved. Janine and I would just play it like all the time for years and years and years. And to see this, like, I have nothing for Mario. I really don't. And the land's execution itself leaves me wanting. This is for me. And the ride itself just seems delightful. I will say I have some concerns about the green facade that they just kind of have going on one side of it, just like stenciled trees. And that, again, is coming back to my concern of, like, what degree of theming they're going to be providing these places.
That may be different. That may be different in Epic as well.
It
depending
doesn't
on
look like
space.
it is, actually. From
Oh,
what I've seen,
interesting.
it's
From
identical. Yeah.
comic shots.
Yeah.
The food, though.
Yeah. I feel like the
the food.
food's gonna be well. I mean, it's Japan. Like
Avocado. Well, look, if there's one thing they're not good at in Japan, it's hamburgers and hot dogs. Like, it's the thing that they're terrible at.
That has avocado sauce on it, though.
but
That
that's got
makes me
avocado
really
sauce on it.
interesting in the.
I think it's.
I feel like that would taste good.
Yeah, I think so.
This is going to be good. Don't get me wrong. Are we also
It's got
excited about
Doritos on it. Also?
children? Yeah, children banging drums. So Rambi shows up. That's gonna be great. I'm all for that. I was
Yes,
just playing the
children
new
learning
Mario Party.
rhythm. Love it.
And you basically play this in Mario Party, a version of
I was
Jungle
just
Drumming.
playing
But then,
Odyssey
of course,
earlier.
oh yeah, Donkey Konga. I need come on, Disney. It's so annoying that they haven't just made a remastered Donkey Konga to go with Switch controls, because it's the exact same thing.
You know what annoys me? That they haven't
annoying.
updated Animal Crossing in like 3 years.
That's true. Agreed. I also would like to see an Animal Crossing land. No one talks about that, but I think that would be a perfect kids area for
Honestly,
Nintendo.
the fact that Universal could really eat that up. Like, the
Yeah,
girlies
we're
would-
obsessed. Everyone loves Animal Crossing now. Here.
Also,
Thanks,
Pokemon.
COVID.
Pokemon hasn't even happened yet. Like,
No,
can you
Pokemon
imagine?
isn't-
Like, it's like a
or
new,
Zelda.
but
I know
Pokemon is a
Pokemon are working
whole
in
nother.
Japan.
It's 40 tiers
yeah.
above Zelda. Like, it is like its own
Yeah,
continent
it's its own thing.
erupting out of the sea. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be huge.
It could literally be its own park in some
It
areas.
truly could
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for the coaster. I am very much all for this animated Cranky Kong.
On Squawks.
Animatronic Cranky
Squawks.
Kong. And Squawks.
Squawks, I love you.
We love Squawks. We love Cranky Kong.
Oh.
I always forget that Cranky Kong had a wife and her name was Wrinkly Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she wears like a kind of like an exercise outfit. If I remember right.
Yeah.
Like
I
an
always
old
think
lady
of,
exercise
like
outfit.
80s, like South Beach, Miami kind of grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yeah. It's all good. So yeah, there we go. There's some stuff about Donkey Kong. I'm thrilled. That's gonna be great.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's talk about things that we're not excited about. But don't worry, because it's in Paris, so it's not going to affect us yet. And then there's another thing that very much affects me and Victoria especially. But let's start with Disneyland Paris. Victoria, what are we seeing? What sort of ticket-based shenanigans are going over at Disneyland Paris?
So, Disneyland Paris introduced this new pricing system for day tickets that adapts depending on the day. It depends. The price will vary on the day over time within a fixed range, and it's going to depend on demand and the season. So according to our source, it says 1-day tickets are going to start at 51 euros for one park and 76 euros for two parks, and it can get as high as 175 euros for two parks on special occasions. Now, what I do like about this is that guests can book their tickets up to 18 months in advance. So that's really fascinating.
And secure their price. Yeah.
And lock in that price for an hour while they're booking it, so that way nothing will change. And on top of that, you can change your ticket date and get full refunds up to 3 days before your visit. So I do like those aspects of it.
Yeah.
But also I'm not crazy about it. Like I've just never been a fan of the adaptive pricing model, but I also get as a business why you would do it. But my thing is, you're Disneyland Paris. Understand that. Understand that.
Your second park is Studios.
Your second park, I finished your second park in 3 hours. Let's be clear. So
let me be clear. If not for the fact that I'm a completist, I could be in Paris and go to Disneyland and never go to Studios and be fine.
I've never gone.
Like, I would have to go just to say it sucks. That'd literally be the only reason to go. Now that Cinemagique is gone, especially. Sucks. There's no Martin Short running through the movies anymore. So what do I got to see there? Check that out, y'all. If you don't know about Cinemagique, it's like one of the coolest 3D
It's a very good
shows.
show.
It's very good. Very good.
I like it.
Was very good or is very good?
It's gone.
It was, because it's not there anymore.
Briii, do you know anything about Cinemagique? Do you know what that's about at all? Okay, we're gonna tell a little story about Cinemagique.
We're gonna tell a tale.
The movie starts and it's like a silent movie, and then a phone goes off in the audience, and then they can't get a signal, so they sort of walk on stage, and the character in the movie looks down at them like, "What are you doing? What the heck?" And you can't see the figure because it's in shadow, but the voice is Martin Short's. And then that character gets sucked into the movie, and then Martin Short runs through a bunch of different movies chasing after this French actress, and they go through Singing in the Rain and Star Wars.
Is she the French equivalent of Martin Short?
No, she's like Marie Tall. She's like tall and beautiful and
wait, her name is Marie Tall, and she's very tall.
That's a joke.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But no, and then at the end of the movie, to get out of the movie, King Arthur throws his sword towards the camera, and it rips through the screen and lands in like comes like flings up into the stage, and then
like Donald Duck,
the Martin
Buck style.
Yeah, kind of,
okay,
but like right on stage,
yeah.
and then the Martin Short leaves the theater, and then he goes back in to be with his lover, and it's pretty great. They do a bunch of like half in, half out, so like live, so it kind of looks like his hand going into the movie. And, it's so cool, and it's now officially like completely online in HD. Like you can watch the entire thing, and someone. I could send you the link. Someone mixed, because they worked on it, they mixed the interactive elements with live footage, so you don't miss anything.
Send it to me.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
I will have to ask, though, are you familiar with Akbar's Adventure from Busch Gardens?
Sadly, yeah. We tried to ignore the one Martin Short theme park experience that is also racist. But yeah, I mean, full on Martin Short brownface.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Eugene Levy is in it, so that's
not
nice.
Eugene.
But,
not shit.
He's not in brownface.
But he is complicit in the attraction.
Yeah,
I was like 4, and I saw that. I'm like, this feels wrong.
It's basically Victoria. It's basically Star Tours, but you're like on a big magic carpet. Is the idea?
Okay.
Akbar's big magic carpet, and then you run around and you chase Martin Short, and he lands on the carpet and dumb stuff. So you could also watch portions. I believe there is a Expedition Theme Park did an episode on Akbar.
Did he really? Really? I must have missed that one. I'll have to look.
It's a very good episode. So congrats to him on that one. If you're interested in very awkward,
I don't know if I want to take that journey quite yet, but
Victoria, don't recommend. Don't recommend. You can skip it.
okay.
I don't know. Akbar is going to be Trump's secretary for like international relations,
Department of Energy, I believe.
Yeah. So you check that out. It'd be a good call. Moving on. Speaking of things that make us sad, Victoria, we don't know. We don't know what's actually happening yet.
Okay.
Tell us, Victoria, what's happening at Tokyo Disney
So, according to the Tokyo Disney Resort website, Big Band Beat, A Special Treat, will no longer be shown after September 30th, 2025. It stated that a new show for that theater at Tokyo Disney Sea has not yet been announced to replace it. So just some backstory. This is probably the greatest show I've ever seen in my entire life, and I hate that they did not film this for me because now I gotta somehow get to Tokyo next year.
No, they did. They will. They will release it now if they put it.
But now I gotta go see it again. I only saw it
Victoria,
twice in my life.
Can you have a story time for me now? Because I'm very curious why this is the best show you've ever seen in your life.
So
it's also mine for sure.
Have you ever seen Mickey Mouse do swing jazz in Harlem?
No, but I'd fucking love to.
Exactly. Okay.
And play the drums.
That's all I need to fucking say.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
it.
100% sold on that. Yeah.
Like
and
literally, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we both saw the version that was like the instruments were
modified. That was the
pre-recorded.
modified version we saw.
Yeah, the cheaper version. The original Big Band Beat is a full-on big band orchestra.
Like there are tap numbers
with dancers.
Oh my god!
Like tap numbers.
There's still tap numbers.
Like it's literally
It's
the
incredible.
costumes. The costumes.
This is in the New York area, I'd imagine, at Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the New York area, like right, not directly adjacent from Tower of Terror, but
it is to the west of Tower of Terror.
Yeah, to the west of it. But yeah,
and my heart's kind of breaking that I never got to see that.
Exactly. Exactly.
You got a year.
And
you have
no
a year.
money.
I felt that. This guy wiped me out.
Yeah, got nothing.
So hopefully they're just.
Did we mention that, Victoria? That you're going on the cruise? You're going on the treasure? Did we even mention that on this?
I have no
on the
idea.
podcast, or was that
I alluded to it, I believe, but I did not.
Well,
yes. Victoria's pouring out because she spent all her money on a Disney treasure. Oh yeah, because you wanted to go to the Haunted Mansion bar.
Yeah,
so
I feel like
no big band beat for you.
No big
special
band
treat
beat for me. Yeah.
This could be a better big band beat. It could be a new big band beat.
It
don't
could
know.
be.
It's so popular.
Back. Like I don't understand.
We got to go back. We got to go back.
But wait a minute! Didn't they also just start that paid seating thing for it too?
Well, they started it, but again, it's a small aspect of the larger theater, and I think it's just a portion of what was part of the like lottery seating or so.
I pay it.
It'll still be important. Still, people will still buy a pass to a new show. So
I would pay it. I would pay it.
Yeah.
Period.
I love this show so much.
I love that show.
Let's talk about things we don't love.
Where do we begin?
Disney. Disney. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Tis the season of things we don't love. The Disney company has decided something. Victoria, what do you think? Tell us what they've done.
Yeah. So the New York Times broke the news because, as one does, that Disney's pause on ad spending that they did on November 17th of last year, they basically essentially restarted their ad revenue into Twitter, long story short. So, they originally paused it in light of controversy that is constantly surrounding Elon Musk and the platforms, dealing with anti-Semitic content and hate speech. But recently, not only has Disney resumed all ad spending on Twitter, because I refuse to call it X, Comcast, IBM, Warner Brothers, and Lionsgate have all resumed their spending. And apparently, according to data, it showed that Disney specifically, as of this article, has spent only $550,000 on advertising. So.
Yeah, that's a drop in the bucket. I mean, that is it's a drop in the bucket, but
wait,
still,
advertising on X resumed?
Yeah, like all of these brands.
No, right? No.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Like, I still get, like, Pasadena car dealership, like fentanyl soda next door, like...
fentanyl soda?
I mean...
Like,
I wouldn't recommend.
I'm getting, like, total fucking nonsense as my
Right,
ads
this is
on
why
there.
I don't know what you're doing still on there. Blue Sky, I have like 700 followers on Blue Sky now. I'm getting people every day. Like everyone is gone. Like we're all over there.
I know, but
I refuse to do Blue Sky.
I have a deep masochist streak and also like a compulsion to try to understand things, and I'm gonna continue to try to understand what's happening there because it's
no, bad for you. Remember that thing where you said earlier about being autistic?
Yes,
that's what's going on right here.
Yeah, I know. That's what's going on
yourself.
all the time and every single thing. But yeah. Well, I just want to say Elon Musk did not buy Twitter to run it as a business. He bought it to win the election and become king. So people that are leaving, like, they like stick it to him, like.
No.
I know that's not what's happening here, but like that's also part of why I'm like, fuck you, I'm still here.
I'm just kind of baffled that they're not that they just restarted it, but it's just the fact that the timing of the restarting.
That's what.
And
that
two,
blows
this
my
man
mind.
literally went on that platform and told Bob Iger to go fuck himself. Like,
I mean,
what?
I want to know the exact timing and how close it correlates with the election.
It was shortly after the election.
See, so this is classic capitalism where you go, well, let's give a little bit more to those now in power so they're not mean to us big corporations.
I mean,
we'll throw $500,000 towards Elon Musk
as
if he gives a shit about $500,000.
Go fuck yourself. I mean,
this is what people do. I don't know why they do it.
I'm not a CEO. I don't know.
No, you have a soul. You couldn't be. It's not possible.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I gave my soul away for Beyonce tickets, so
good call.
Yeah.
There's worse things to lose it for. Speaking of people that don't have souls, Victoria, who might be? I don't think this is actually going to happen, but whose name has been whispered? Whose name has been whispered for CEO of the Walt Disney Company?
So this is really odd, and quite frankly, like you said, I don't think it's gonna happen. But
no,
apparently, which I have heard in the early days of this search beginning, as far as who's gonna transition as CEO from Bob Iger, they're looking at internal sources, which they have 4 currently, and they're also looking at external sources, which is normal. But one of the candidates is Andrew Wilson, CEO of EA. Also, I mean, to make a long story short, if you play The Sims, this is your guy. But the other one is.
Do you mean because he looks like a Sim, or like?
Oh no, EA is made by The Sims, but
yeah.
But I mean, sure, I see the vision now.
If you've ever opened a loot crate, this is your guy.
Yeah,
that's really your guy.
That's really the specter hanging above EA.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, the Wall Street Journal also stated that they identified 2 other external candidates. They haven't said who, but I mean, honestly, I don't see this happening. The other 4 internal candidates are Jimmy Pitaro, he's the chairman of ESPN, so my boyfriend loves him. Josh D'Amaro, Diz Twitter loves him. I don't get it. My choice is Dana Walden, who is chairman of Disney Entertainment, and then you have Alan Bergman, who I think would be an excellent second choice. EA, I mean, I don't see it.
I don't
see the vision.
I mean, if they would like to do Bob Chapek again, go. Why don't you just call Paul Pressler and see if he's available? Jesus Christ. Give me a break.
Did you guys know yesterday was the anniversary
of Chapek's resignation or
usurpation?
Happy anniversary, everybody.
Yesterday was his firing anniversary.
Yeah.
Happy
that was a
Chapek
great
anniversary.
Day.
Let's reflect on that.
Do you remember how he was going to go to an Elton John concert?
And then they told him he couldn't go.
He was at an Elton John concert, and they just sort of was like, "Hey, man, you're fired."
All I remember his
He's
text.
not an Elton John.
guys.
Daddy's
He was
coming
like,
home.
Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to come out on stage.
Yup. He was
And
gonna
then he
introduce
got
him.
word. God, that's so funny.
That's amazing.
I think
It's
that
like-
there should be a
Crazy.
television series based around this whole drama of who's going
very
to.
Succession-y.
It is very
Yeah.
Succession-y, but I think like that.
I've
It's just.
read several Wall Street Journal articles about it. It is fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's so fascinating how much of a petty queen Bob Iger is, and
Yeah.
I personally like it. I love a petty
No.
queen. I am a petty queen.
He's a petty queen. We just need, if you've never read Disney War, it's highly recommended.
Yeah,
It's
the Eisner.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, I keep
Incredible.
forgetting to buy it.
It's like I couldn't put it down when I was reading it because it's just, man, it makes Katzenberg look like a real toady, and like it's so good. I need that second book. I hope somebody's writing that
Someone's
second
gotta
Disney
write a
War.
second.
There has to be.
Yeah, some industry professional
Like
will
print
do that,
journalism's
I think, once-
dead, but people are selling books. So
Yeah,
you
Iger
know.
once Iger actually gives the chalice to someone else, he'll.
What?
the
Didn't they
book
say
will come out, I'm
Chapek at
sure.
some point was going to do like an exclusive or something? Did that ever happen?
Who knows? Who
I feel like I
cares?
would've heard.
He's like a lobbyist now, which is exactly what he would be.
Oh,
I think that's what he's doing.
He
You know.
is a lobbyist.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's what all shamed people go and do. Speaking of things that I think are kind of a shame, I don't know. We'll see. Victoria, Universal is hopping on the Disney live action train.
they are.
Can you tell us about this new live action movie coming out?
Uh-oh.
I'm just reading from a script. They released a trailer. I think it was a teaser trailer for the live action How to Train Your Dragon. As I'm not familiar with the fandom, I don't know if people wanted this. It doesn't seem like they wanted it. But they have Mason Thames as Hiccup.
You sure that's not Drake Bell? Looks like Drake Bell to me. Looks
sure.
like Drake Bell.
Then
Some
we
people
have-
will look at this and go, "That looks like Drake Bell." It's not a good thing.
Who is Drake Bell?
Of Drake and Josh fame?
What is that?
Okay, I don't know. You're too old.
Okay.
You're too old.
It's complicated.
Don't worry about Drake Bell.
But don't worry about it. Then we have
Don't worry, I
Gerard
won't.
Butler as Hiccup's father.
Per the movie, per the animated movie.
Do you think Emma Thompson's going to play Emma Thompson?
Emma Thompson as Emma Thompson?
Well, Emma Thompson as Emma Thompson's character. I don't want to spoil anything, so
What is her? Oh, I know what you mean. Well, we don't know. We'll find out.
I hope so.
We'll find out.
Then we have Nico Parker as Astrid, Nick Frost as Gober, Julian Dennison, Gabriel Howell. These are names. And then it's being directed, written, and produced by the person who directed and wrote the original film. So I watched it as someone who has no knowledge about any of this, and the most of my dragon knowledge is House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. So, I mean, sure.
I mean,
It's a thing. It exists.
yeah.
It looks exactly like I've seen comparison.
Yeah.
photos,
It
and
looks
the
exactly like
same.
I hate this trend personally.
I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate this. I hate it.
The only thing I really have
why-
to compare it to is when they did the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is
I mean,
really-
any Disney live action cartoon or live action version of their things fall under this realm.
I mean,
too.
the dragon looks cute. You can tell they
the
didn't
dragon
get
looks exactly like the dragon. Like,
Is that a
it's
bad
no-
thing?
no? But like, what's the point of making it? What's
What's
the point of
the
making
point?
It's
I don't
they
know.
re-rendered the CD.
I know nothing
It's
about
like-
this.
So you have a wireframe, and then you make an
Okay.
animated movie, and then I know this isn't the same wireframe, yada yada yada. But theoretically, this is just another 3D toothless. Like there's no. If this had been Jim Henson practical effect,
Yes.
dragon,
Okay.
my ticket bought.
Also,
bought.
that
Like,
background is also 100% CGI.
Garbage.
So like
Garbage.
the whole thing, it's like it's just laundering IP. You know,
yeah.
people. This is a larger issue of like cartoons and animation being its own genre, and like
Yeah.
It's so gross and dumb. Everything is so gross and dumb. Everything.
So, was there a market for this? Like, were people asking for this, or was it just like they just did it? It was just one of those. It was like
they just did it.
Is this Mufasa?
I think they just did it.
They saw a synchronicity IP crossover with Epic Universe, and like, okay, we'll do this at the same time.
Oh,
to secure that.
so this is their dinosaur. This is their dinosaur.
Explain.
No.
So, okay.
You mean
let
the
me
movie
explain.
dinosaur?
Yeah. But
Oh,
let me
in terms
explain.
of opening with the park, yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I was going to say,
This is their countdown to extinction.
This is their
analog.
countdown to
Yeah.
extinction. See, Bra sees
Yeah.
the vision. He sees
Yeah,
the
I see it.
vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for when Toothless is right behind me and Dr. Seeker's yelling at me to go left and right. That's what I want. No, I just don't see a point. I mean, it is so flat. I mean, again, I'm looking at one image here, and I did watch the trailer, but everything looks so flat.
So fucking
looks
flat. Lifeless.
It's just lifeless.
Yeah, it didn't
like,
really evoke emotion, but I also didn't know if that was because I have no attachment to the franchise.
No.
I mean, it's just asking you to go, that's the thing from 15 years ago. Like, it wants 30-year-olds to go to the movies because they saw it when they were 15. Like, that's it. That's it. That's all this is for. I think it's going to underwhelm. I don't think it's going to do as well at the box office as they're hoping. I think it's going to be a one and doneer because when did the third movie come out?
There's more
The
than one.
animated
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I want to say
Yeah, there's three of
2019,
them.
2018,
Oh,
around there.
by the way, Victoria, they're really good.
Yeah, the actual movies are fantastic.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought these were
totally
based
worth
off
your
of
time.
books.
They are. But
They are.
they're loosely based on the books, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
The reason why they're redoing this is because How to Train Your Dragon is kind of the most consistently critically lauded DreamWorks property. So this is kind of the crown and the jewel of DreamWorks. So this is them.
Wait, not Shrek? Not Minions?
Well, Shrek is the moneymaker, but in terms of critical appreciation, How to Train Your Dragon is it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
all three of them have been really well received.
Yeah.
Okay.
The third one came out 6 years ago.
Oh.
Like not that long ago.
Yeah, 2018. Yeah.
Oh. So they
So
choose
I don't-
now to do this?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I
I
don't-
don't get
They're doing Moana.
That I don't get. That I don't get.
it. Oh, no.
Which also came out 6 years ago. So what the fuck?
Yeah,
So
I
side
can
note,
give-
did you guys
The
see
snake is choking on its own tail so
Did you
hard.
see the set photos
Yeah.
for the live action?
Yeah,
no.
I
Please
have.
go.
I'm
bad.
so
I'm
upset.
begging you to please go look at them because they got The Rock in his wig from the Scorpion King. I shit you not. It looks like his wig from the Scorpion King, and he's in the Maui guard. Moana looks great. I don't know what the fuck they did to The Rock.
Well, they're gonna definitely give him like.
They
CGI
are
stuff,
screwing the Moana pooch so hard. The new movie looks terrible too. Like the animated sequel
Well,
looks
yeah.
awful and rushed, and I'm just so depressed because
Honestly.
Moana is like my favorite of the newest iteration of.
It's so good,
Disney.
but like
It's-
and I actually tweeted about this the other day, and I was like, I've seen almost no promo for this second movie.
Oh, I
Like,
have,
none.
unfortunately.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah, this
saying
just-
that, but I'm like, I've seen maybe like a few clips, and that's it.
I don't think they're
Dwayne-
feeling very confident about. Oh, the embargo for Moana 2 is like 45 minutes before the first showing, and that is just a little bit of an exaggeration on the timeline there. Like,
Yeah.
it could not be more clear that this is not going to be good.
This you're not joking. The Rock looks like he's in his Scorpion King wig.
I'm not. I was not exaggerating.
He's wearing a muscle suit, which I understand because that's a lot of tattoos. I get it, but like Maui's supposed to be kind of a chunky dude, not a
Yeah, he's
not a
supposed to
ripped
be
dude.
like a little chunkster, and he's. I'm like,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
and this is like
here?
just a ripped dude. This is not going to work. at
It's
all.
not going to work.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants this.
Ugh.
Everyone is so Dwayne Johnsoned out. It's not even
Beyond.
funny.
I didn't even know he had a
Lilo
movie out right now. I had no idea.
And
I
you
was
shouldn't.
so worried about.
You shouldn't.
I was so worried about Wicked and Gladiator. I was like, when did The Rock put a movie out?
Red
Oh, yeah,
one.
red one.
Oof.
Yeah, forget it.
Yeah,
By the way,
my-
Lilo and Stitch can come out. It's been 23 years. Like, I get it.
That I'm fine
I don't
with.
need
That
it.
I'm fine.
I don't need it, but it's like,
yeah.
it's literally like, if you were born the year the movie came out, now you can drive a car. I can see if you want to do a live action remake. Like, I don't love it, but it makes sense. But like Moana, man, what are we doing?
Moana.
What are we doing? All right. So there you go. That is all the news. We have no segments this week. No Beware Our Guest. Nothing in Rat Court.
Everyone was very well behaved while the country was going to hell.
Everybody.
Everyone was too busy voting the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, congrats. Hey, enjoy your eggs.
How about that Tyson fight?
How about that Tyson fight? Man, things have been rough. Okay. But hey, you know what is always great when things are rough? It is good to hear from our good friend, the Astuter Computer Poem of the Week.
That's why I'm a router for the computer. Everybody needs a friend.
Oh, Astuter, do you have any news? Anything that you liked this week that you would like to talk about? Anything that tickles your fancy? Let's see. Tower of Terror, spooky heights must still endure. Grande's heartfelt plea.
In short, go see Wicked.
In short, Wicked in theaters now. So there you go. As always, Rat Castle is produced by yours truly. Sarah helps in the production end of things, and our good friend Victoria helps in the social media end of things, and we appreciate our fellow producers for that. Briii doesn't do anything. He's just sleepy. He's yawning. And what time is it on the east or on the west coast there, Briii?
It is 8:49, which is my bedtime.
Yeah. It is 11:49 here.
My bedtime was 4 hours ago.
So yawn. Go ahead and yawn. Anyway, with that, find us at ratcastlepod.com if you want. What was it? There was something. We talked about DK earlier. You should check out my other podcast, Fun, which I produce with for Disney Dan Becker. If you've known him from YouTube, it's great. We have an episode coming out. Let's see. This week we had an episode with Defunctland talking about the 3rd year anniversary of Shapeland, as well as his new animatronic double feature special coming out in the near future that he's researching, which is pretty great.
Wonderful.
And then next week is going to be Quentin from Quentin Reviews. We're talking about Thanksgiving and Garfield. And then the week after that, we are talking with Rocco from Mega 64 about Donkey Kong. So if you want to hear all that, it should be a good time. We got a stacked lineup, lots of good stuff happening. So if you didn't get enough Donkey Kong here, you'll get a little more Donkey Kong over there. So we talk about all sorts of things. Anything else going on, you guys? Anything you want to promote? Anything fun? You're like, I don't know.
I think we all love sleep here. I'd like to promote that.
Yeah. Sleep. Yeah. Brii's promoting sleep. Victoria's promoting. Victoria, you're the one that just paid for a cruise. Like go travel with Victoria.
Go watch my YouTube.
Yeah, go get on our YouTube. What is that? YouTube.com/what?
My username, he calls me Pineapple Princess. The Tokyo stuff should be coming out soon. So if you're looking for that,
very cool.
I'm finally going to do it.
Cool. Awesome. I'm excited to watch that because I, of course, am obsessed. And with that, grab your belongings and you're going to have to get by Briii. He's already sleeping. He fell asleep. He's got a little pillow there. He's just sleeping right there. So you're going to have to get by him. And when you do that, just go ahead and exit to the left. Okay.
Will you stop this foolishness?
What foolishness would you like to see?
Will you get out of here?
This has been a production of 710 Media.